And welcome to our 30 minutes of Express Vinyasa Flow. So for today, let's have two blocks. We don't need them quite yet, so you can leave them at the front. And let's have a blanket and a strap handy. And let's start with the blanket. So go ahead and make sure your pets are handy too, if they're ready to join you. So open up your blanket as padding for your knees. Okay, and I'll go ahead and take off my giant sweater. As the weather turns, it's always so nice to stay cozy. But we're going to start today in frog shape. So set up your knees and ankles on the blanket with your toes pointing out. And you're looking for 90-degree bend in the knees, ankles, and your hips. And then you can go ahead and come down elbows on the blocks or elbows on the floor. And you could start maybe with elbows on the blocks. And take a few breaths. This is a stretch for your inner legs, our adductor muscles. Let the body gently soften and ease into the stretch. If you have your animal helpers nearby, feel free to give them a little attention. And if you are working on the blanket is slippery, so you might feel your legs glide apart. And just be careful and mindful that they don't go too far or past the point of return, if you will. Take a nice breath in through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. And once again, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last breath. Inhale. And exhale. And let's add some cows and cats. If you're comfortable on your elbows on the block, stay like that. You can also get yourself lower or higher. As you inhale, start by lifting your tail towards the ceiling, creating an arch in your back. The pelvis will tip forward. And then as you exhale, start to draw the tailbone downward, scoop your belly, scoop your back up towards the ceiling. And let's do that a few more times, nice and slow. Inhale, tilt the tailbone up, pelvis rolls forward, chest opens, shoulders move back. Exhale, curl the tailbone down, hug your belly up, round your back up. And take 3 more on your own. So moving with the breath. Explore each part of the stretch as you move. And notice how the breath moves as the body changes. Notice if the breath is rushing in for one or the other shape, or maybe finding its way to new spots. And finish up with your last round. Now, the easiest way to come out of this deep stretch is to come all the way down onto the floor. So walk your elbows forward until you can straighten your legs. And then bring the legs together. Good. And then let's go ahead and take a cross-legged seat. And we'll continue a few more rounds of breath. And really focusing on the breath as a way to expand our rib cage today. So take the hands to your lowest ribs, and you can wrap the thumbs back and the forefingers will wrap forward. Close your eyes so you're more attuned to the sensation in your fingers, and make sure that your spine is vertical and perfectly stacked. As you inhale, Expand the ribs into both of your hands. And then exhale, let the ribs soften. Next time you inhale, notice right side and left side and see if they're even and level with their expansion. Inhale, expand the ribs into your hands. Notice if one side is less or more, and then exhale to soften. And this time, see if you can even them out. So if one side was kind of lagging, see if you can make that side fuller. Inhale, expand. Make each side as big as you can. And then exhale to soften. Good, excellent. Let's do the same thing up in the upper part of the rib cage. So take your two hands right below the collarbones. And this time as you inhale, feel the hands rise. And exhale to soften. And the second time, notice if right side or left side is weaker or less full. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale to soften. And the third breath, see if you can even the two sides out. So whichever side was lagging, make that side a little fuller. Go ahead, inhale, expand up into your palms. And exhale, soften. And we'll continue working with this idea of breath and using each shape to make the breath fuller in its three-dimensionality, right? So the more you can open up the ribs, right, the more your lungs can expand. You're also working the muscles of the diaphragm, the muscles that surround the rib cage, all the intercostal muscles, and we want them to be pliable and flexible and also strong so you can have your best breath. And yoga is actually in service of the breath. So we're using all these shapes to create more and more space for breath. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead, come on to tabletop position facing the front of your mat. And you can keep your blanket there for your knees. You may be wanting to make that blanket a little bit smaller. Start with tented fingertips so you build some strength in the wrists. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Good. One more time. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Good. Keep that cat spine as you hover the right knee off. Try not to lean to the left and open the knee out to the side. And bring it back down. Good. Keep that knee hovering. Lean to the center. Lift the right knee out. And bring it back down. Two more times. Inhale to lift. Lean to the center. Exhale to lower. Hug in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. Step your right toes to the back. Stretch through the heel. Get that nice calf stretch. Kickstand your left foot behind you. Press the right heel down. Open the chest. And here, really take a full breath into right side and left side of the ribs. Imagine your hands were still there, expanding. And exhale, feel the ribs soften. One more breath like that in this shape. Inhale to expand. Exhale, soften. Good. And hover the right foot off the floor. And notice if you can make the left side of your body, which is the bottom side, as long as the right side. Hug your belly in, make your tailbone longer. Expand evenly, right side and left side. And exhale to soften. Good. Stretch the top arm up and over your ear. And release back into tabletop. Tuck the toes, look ahead, press into the fingertips. Exhale, straighten your legs into a downward facing dog. And take a moment here, you can pedal out your feet. Wake up the soles of the feet, stretch the backs of your legs. Calf muscles could use a little attention on my end. Good, one more breath. And bring the knees back down and stack your right knee in front of the left knee, almost like you're setting up for Gomukhasana shape. Walk your hands back and higher and see if you can stand up on the shins. Open up the arms. Exhale, wrap your right elbow under the left. You can grab opposite shoulder or bring the backs of your hands together, or even intertwine the hands. Pick which one. We'll come back to this again so you'll have more options. And then really pull your elbows forward so you feel the backs of the shoulders spreading. And then expand your breath into the backs of the ribs. And exhale to soften. Obviously, you're working on balance. Hug your inner legs. Inhale to expand. And exhale to soften. Good. Unravel the arms. Inhale, reach them up. And slowly bring the hands back down. Walk your hands forward. Come on out, back into table. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Glide forward to a plank. Tap your knees down. Pull the collarbones forward. Keep the belly toned as you lower a third of the way, halfway, and tap the pelvis down. And take your fingertips wide off the mat. Tailbone is long. Press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Dip your right shoulder, look left. Inhale through center. Dip your left shoulder, look right. Inhale, center. Exhale to lower. Bring the hands by the ribs and come on back into tabletop. Tense your fingertips right underneath the shoulders. Stack your hips over the knees. Inhale for cow pose. Exhale, round for cat pose. Good. Hover your left knee an inch off the floor. Try not to lean to the right. Hug your right hip to the midline. And then lift your left knee up to the side and hover it down. Keep hugging to the middle. Inhale to lift the knee out. Exhale, bring it back down. 3 more times. Inhale to lift. Hug into the midline. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Hug to the center. Exhale to lower. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Step your left toes to the back. Press through the heel. Kickstand the right foot behind you. Stay on the right fingertips if you can. Press your left heel down to the floor and reach the left arm up to the sky. Breathe into both sides of the ribs. Expand them. Imagine your hands still there, and then exhale to soften. 1 more time, just like that. Expand into both sides of your ribs. Exhale to soften. Now hover your back leg, lift it up, lengthen your tailbone, hug your belly in, and can you lengthen the bottom waist as much as the top waist? Breathe evenly right to left. Exhale, soften. 1 more breath, stay steady. Good, take the top arm up and overhead. Nice side body stretch. And then release fingertips and knee back into tabletop. Plant the hands, tuck your toes as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Pedal your feet. Press into the fingertips. Widen your shoulders. And then go ahead, tap the knees down. This time, left knee in front of the right knee, like you're going into Gomukhasana. Separate your feet. Walk your hands back. Hug your inner legs as you come upright to stand. Reach up through the arms, gaze at one point. Left elbow underneath the right. You can give yourself a hug or bring backs of the hands or intertwine your hands. Whichever variation you choose, please know we'll be here again, so you have lots of chances. Pull your elbows forward. Hug the inner legs as you find balance. Expand into the backside of the ribs. Use the shape to expand the breath. Good. 1 more breath. Stay steady. Relax the arms. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, slowly bring the fingertips back down to the floor. Take your time. Come out into tabletop. Tuck the toes back into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Tap the knees. Collarbones wide, belly toned. Lean forward. Go a third of the way, half of the way, all the way down. Tap your fingertips wide. Point your toes. Inhale to pull yourself forward. Dip your left shoulder, look right. Inhale through center. Dip your right shoulder, look left. Inhale back through center. Exhale to lower. Hands by the ribs. Come back into tabletop. Let's do that same little flow one more time. Inhale, arch, tense your fingertips. Exhale, round. Hover your right knee, lift it out to the side. Drop it down. And just one more time, lift and drop. Step your right toes to the back, kickstand your left foot. Right heel comes down, right arm up. Hover the right leg, expand right side and left side of the ribs evenly. Reach the right arm overhead, stay for one more breath. Expand. Relax, hands and knees down. Inhale, tuck your toes, press into the fingers. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, tap the knees down. Right knee in front of left knee. Slowly come on up into Gomukhasana stand. Reach the arms up, hug your inner thighs. Right elbow underneath the left. Intertwine, reach forward. Exhale, soften. Relax the arms, reach them up. Exhale, walk your fingers slowly, carefully back down. Unravel your knees, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Glide forward plank. Tap the knees down, collarbones forward, lower third, half, all the way down. Go right into cobra this time. Pull yourself forward. Exhale to lower. Come back into tabletop. Stack your hips, stack the shoulders, tent the fingers. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Keep the cat. Hover your left knee, right hip hugs in, lift your knee out, and bring it back. Right hip hugs in, lift the knee out, bring it back. Step your left toes to the back, pivot the heel down, reach the left arm up, expand the ribs, and out. Hover your left leg, expand the ribs, soften. Last breath, left arm overhead, expand, even right and left. As you exhale, release the hands back down. Tuck your toes as you inhale, down dog as you exhale. Knees back down, left knee in front of right. Come on up into Gomukhasana stand. Hug your inner legs as you find balance, open the arms. Left elbow under right, intertwine. One breath, inhale, reach forward. Breathe into the back side of the ribs. Exhale, soften. Reach the arms up overhead. And relax the hands slowly back down. Good. Unravel your knees, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, hover heels, look forward. And step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to stand, reach up. And exhale, hands together to the heart. Good. Let's do a little bit more toning exercise for the hips. So take your two blocks and stand them end to end. And you want to face a wall. So find a wall, any wall will do. Take your right foot on the blocks and take your hands to the wall. So you're about an arm's distance from the wall. And then really hug your belly in, almost like you're rounding yourself away from the wall. Suction cup your left thigh bone in And then all you're going to do is bend your right knee, keep rounding your back, and straighten. Suction cup your left leg. Bend your right knee, don't let the right hip wiggle out, and straighten. 2 more times. Round your back, tailbone is long, bend your knee, suction cup your left leg. 1 more time. Bend and straighten. Good. And then step on down. Move the blocks to the side for now. We'll come back to the left side in a minute and take a wide-legged stance facing the long edge of the mat. Stretch the legs out as wide as the arms. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, hinge in half. Walk your fingertips forward away from the hips, but keep the hips aligned with the heels and hug them back. Breathe into the backside of your legs here. And then breathe into the backside of your ribs. Now, can you breathe evenly front and back of the ribs? Even right side and left side. 1 more breath, full into the rib cage. Good. Inhale, come on back halfway up. Walk your hands to the right toes and angle the right toes forward for Trikonasana. Take one of your blocks outside the right foot, any height for your block, and then start to open yourself to face the long edge of the mat. Now here's a perfect way where we can play with the right side and left side. Can you make your right side as expansive as the left side in the ribs? And then expand into the ribs, even right to left. And soften. 1 more time like that. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent work. Slowly bring the left hand down. Pivot to face the center. Come on up halfway. And come on up all the way up to stand. Heel toe your feet together. And let's do that hip exercise on the left side. So again, line up your blocks. You're about, 2 feet away from the wall. Take your left foot up on the blocks, arms distance from the wall. Round your back, so push the wall away with your hands, hug your belly in, make your tailbone long, and then suction cup the right thigh bone into the hip socket. Slowly bend your left knee just a little bit, push down through your heel. Don't let the left hip wiggle out to the left at all, and then straighten your leg. Good. Suction the right leg in, dome your back, tailbone is long, pushing through your heel as you bend the knee and straighten. Suction up the right leg. Bend your knee, don't let the hip wiggle out, and straighten. 1 more breath. Bend your knee, push the wall away, and straighten. Good. And then step off your blocks, bring the blocks off to the side. Come back into the wide stance, wingspan legs. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold in half. Lock your fingertips forward away from the hips. Hug the hips in line with your heels. Breathe into the back side of the ribs. Soften as you exhale. Breathe into the front side of your ribs. Soften as you exhale. Now expand in full 3-dimension, front, back, side to side. Soften as you exhale. Good. Walk your hands to the left, setting up for Trikonasana. Point your left toes forward. Make sure you have a block nearby. So take your block along and set up the block outside your left foot. Press your left hand onto the block, right arm to the sky, and rotate the chest to square with the long edge of the mat. Now again, really important. Can you make bottom ribs and top ribs even? Expand into the ribs. Exhale, soften. Expand evenly, top and bottom. Exhale, soften. Last breath, expand. And soften. Good. Bring the fingertips down. Walk yourself back to center. Inhale, halfway lift, press into your feet, and rise up to stand. So same shape as triangle, we're just gonna make it more challenging by adding a balance and floating the back leg up for half moon. So let's start facing forward, the front of your mat, and set up a block on the tall height. Now the same muscles you use in the outer hips when you're doing that little block, bend, and straighten, those muscles need to hug in here. Pick up your left leg, suction it up, bend your right knee, keep the right hip in, and then start to lean forward. Take your right hand on the block, right underneath the right shoulder. Hug the right hip in a lot. Push down through the right heel as you expand your left leg. You can add the left arm, reach it up to the sky, and you're trying to square your rib cage to the long edge of the mat. Keep hugging the right hip in, suction the left leg into the hip. Now can you expand right side and left side of the ribs here, level with one another. One more breath. Good. Slowly bend your right knee. We'll step into a warrior two to come out. Straighten the front leg, parallel your feet. Reach up. Bow and fold. Walk your hands to the front of the mat and step your left foot behind the right foot so that your ankles are crisscrossed. Come on up onto the ball of the right foot. Bend your left knee and slowly come on up. And let's come up into eagle chair. So crisscross your legs, hug the outer shin bones, reach out through the arms, right elbow underneath the left. Hug or wrap, pull the elbows forward. Sit the hips a little lower, hug the inner legs. Breathe into the back side of the ribs here. Breathe into the front side as well. Good. Unravel the arms and your legs. Reach up. Exhale, hands together at the heart and down by your side. Okay, let's do that on the left side. So set up a block. Oh, mine is already there. Outside of your left arm. And you can face forward. I'm just gonna go this way so that I still face the camera. Now remember, using outer hips, same ones when we did that exercise for the hips. So hug the left hip in, suction the right leg in as you hover. Bend your left knee, start to lean forward, hug that left hip in. Take the block right underneath your left shoulder as you begin to open up. As you open, keep hugging the left hip in. Suction the right thigh bone into the hip. Tailbone is long, belly in, so belly is toned. Keep hugging that left hip in. Making your torso parallel to the long edge of the mat. And now breathe into the bottom ribs as much as you can into the right ribs. So level side to side. Keep the back leg super strong. Suction it into the pelvis. Expand left and right ribs evenly if you can. One more breath. Stay steady. Soften the face. Looking for balance. Soften the left knee. We're stepping out through warrior two. Nice and easy. Straighten your front leg. Parallel your feet. Reach up. Exhale, bow and fold. Walk your hands to the left toes. Turn them forward. Right knee steps behind the left, ankles crossed. Lift up onto the ball of your left foot. Hug the knees together. Bend your knees as you curl up. And stack your left knee a little higher, coming into eagle leg chair. Bend at the hips. Take the arms out. Left elbow under right eagle arms. Hug or intertwine. Squeeze your outer shins together. Reach the elbows forward. Breathe into the back side of the ribs. Breathe into the front side. Last breath, even side to side. And then slowly expand, open everything up, and relax the hands down and down by your sides. Really nice work. All right, let's close this practice with a stretch. So lie next to the wall, and you can have a block handy. So you're going to come onto your back and step your feet up to the wall. So you have about a 90-degree bend in your knees. If you need any props for your head or your torso, set them up. And then right ankle over left knee is option 1. Option 2, a little deeper, take a block in between your knee and your ankle. Flex your foot. And then allow your pelvis and tailbone to flatten down alongside the ground. Open the arms and breathe into your outer right hip. We did some hip stability stuff today, as well as we really focused on the breath and keeping the breath even right side and left side, looking for any imbalances. And as you open up your right hip here, keep working the breath. Keep noticing right side to left. And notice just from this short practice how much your breath has changed. Hopefully it has improved and you've really gotten more voluminous, right? Voluminous in the lungs, voluminous in the ribs. Now from sitting all day, you might be rounding in your back. So this is your opportunity to bring some stretch, space, and ease into all these muscles. Open your mouth, wiggle the chin side to side, relax the jaw. Good. And then let's come out and do the left side. Ankle on top of knee, or if you'd like a little more, take a block between your ankle and the knee. Flex your left toes, and then settle the pelvis and tailbone down on the ground. Breathe into the ribs, even side to side, and even feel for your hips being even from your shoulders. And then take your fingertips to your temples and just gently do little circles around the temples to ease any tension in your face. You can keep the mouth gently open. And as we open up your outer left hip, let's do a little multitask and soften the muscles of the face. And keep your mouth open, jaw relaxed. Take the fingertips in front of the ears to the jaw place where the jaw bones meet, and gently circle the ending of your jaw. And keep the mouth open and really relaxed as you make the little circles there. Good. Last 2 breaths. Take your 2 fingertips and just a little pressure just above the eyebrow line. Little presses on your sinus cavities here, relieving any sinus pressure going from in to out. And then you can do the same thing underneath the eye. So from the nose, following the bone of the sinuses, going out, little presses down. A little self-massage today. Good. And then take the fingers and gently tap, tap, tap right underneath your collarbones. Good. Come on out of this stretch. And we'll finish up today with legs up the wall since we're close to the wall. So you can scoot your hips as close to the wall as you can. And then send the legs upwards. Bring the hips so that your sitting bones can lean against the wall. Get any prop that will make you more comfortable. And then rest your fingertips on your belly. And take a nice full breath into your hands, letting the belly expand. As you exhale, feel the belly soften. 2 more breaths like that. Expand the belly. Exhale, soften. Rest here for about 3 to 5 minutes. This is where I will end my show, my flow with you. Namaste. Be well.